didn't go well with the project yesterday and life in general. 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay. I set everything up for the projects. I have the login to work. That's about it. I went out to get groceries yesterday and I got a sandwich.
Okay, are you stock up enough stuff for like the week and stuff?
No, I just got onions because my mom told me to get onions. That's about it.
Okay. So the project is going well. Life is good, right? For now?
Yeah, I'm not sure how the onions have to do with the project, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out too on our end. Thanks,
I
bud.
know Onion know how to use this.
The what? Oh, always got the joke there. Huh? Very good. Awesome. Thank you for keeping us. Cool. So let's go on to a mini.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
For me, I was able to also set up the login screen. And I'm having an issue with testing because when I set up the project, I did not set it up like with testing. And when I tried to do it through the test navigator, like set up a unit test there, when I try to import like it doesn't give me access to the files that are in the CTA project.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Let's do that. Hold off testing for today, and tomorrow we'll kick off the lecture with like a test, like what you're talking about for the entire class. Does that make sense?
Wait.
Okay.
We're talking about like testing models?
Yeah, like testing in general. Like I don't have access to within my like test the test file. I guess it's I don't have access to any of the files that are within the project. For some reason, it's saying that I need to import a Firebase module.
Yeah, you need to add. What happens is we'll talk about it tomorrow when we kick off that lecture module. But basically, you need to add your pods as well to the pod file under the test part of it. So in the pod file, there's a test section as well.
Okay.
You need to also include any pods you're trying to get access to. So what we'll do, we'll go through that either in the afternoon today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be better just because today we have to focus on making that first PR.
So I'm confused.
A mini?
Yes, I hear you. So just for the sake of time, could I attempt to kind of like test it through the project itself, like see if it's getting data and not worry about unit testing?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And tomorrow, what we'll do tomorrow or later today is to test with where we include the test suites in the pod file. Because right now the pod file doesn't have access to your pods.
Right, so would this issue have been prevented if I set up my project initially with?
No, you would still have to include the pods in the pod test area in the pod file.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we'll do that tomorrow. I want us to just focus on making that PR today.
Okay.
Okay?
What?
I'm sorry?
I didn't hear what you said. You said you want us to focus on.
I want us to focus on making the first PR, the first pull request today.
Okay, so now I'm confused, right? Because I was able to test the endpoint.
We'll go down and we'll come back. So right now we're talking about testing, but we'll talk about testing tomorrow via the pod file.
So I should just do the project, not sure if data's coming or not? Because my issue right now is just that for the detail thing, I'm not trying to be annoying, it's just driving me crazy. For the detail thing, there are things that are null and empty. And so it says that it's not proper JSON, but when I put it in JSON validator, it says it's valid.
Got it. Tiff, can we hold off your question when we come to you? Is that okay? It's a class-wide question, but can we go down and then we'll come back to it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you. Mr. Bienvenido. Mr. Bienvenido. He's in chat. He's not hearing us. What's going on? Bienvenido. Okay, we'll come back to him. Brendan.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. So, all I did yesterday was create the login view. I finished that. Authentication was implemented in the app. I had not gotten past that part yet. I also wireframed what I wanted to do and how I wanted the app to look like. I decided instead of a picker view to choose the API experience, I'm going to use buttons.
Okay.
So once the user creates, I guess once they create an account, it'll segue to a new view controller, and then there'll be two buttons to whether they could pick which experience they want to do. And then I'm also going to do the settings in the tab bar controller.
Okay.
So they can
Perfect.
choose it. I'll probably use a picker view there.
Okay. The only one thing about the buttons, what if we say on Friday or Thursday, now we have 4 APIs. You're going to add 2 other buttons?
I guess so.
Just keep it dynamic. Always think about dynamic, because what if we have 5 APIs or 6 APIs or 10
Okay.
APIs?
Okay.
So you could do buttons, maybe have some sort of like an array that you could add more stuff to.
Okay, yeah, I could do that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Any blockers?
No blockers right now. I ran out of chips yesterday, my quarantine chips, but I'll get more today.
That's a pretty big blocker, bro.
I don't know what that is. Mr. Brendan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How's the family?
Oh my God.
Family's great. Cat's great.
All right, perfect. Keep her fed.
Yep.
Or him.
Her.
All right, cool. Mr. Cameron.
I have a question.
Mr. Cameron?
I will write my question down.
Cameron, can you hear us? He's on mute. Let's Slack him and tell him he's on mute or something. Message him. Cameron. Cameron, you're on mute. Okay, let's go down the line. Cassandra.
Yep.
Give us a rundown of yesterday and today.
So I did the login page. It took me forever for some reason. Like, after the user logs in, I finally got it to go into the tab bar control for the main app features.
Okay.
And that's what I did yesterday, because for some reason my login wasn't working.
But now it's working.
And now it's working, but I can't tell you what I did. It just for some reason wasn't working, and then it decided to work last minute.
No,
So
I think it's like
Okay.
it might have been an Xcode thing. I don't know.
That's good. That's good. Sometimes you just walk away, you come back, right?
Yeah.
Any blockers post like login stuff for now?
No, because I haven't really been able to work on much after that, because like by the time it finally worked was like 7. So
okay, but
my brain was like,
but you got to
shot,
win.
so.
You got stuff done.
Yeah.
Very good. How's family? How's stuff going on?
It's very distracting because my dogs are really cute.
They're very needy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to have a conversation with them, right?
Well, my dogs, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Chelsea, is Chelsea in here? We need to start Chelsea. Okay, next. You here?
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear us?
Question about Brendan. Yeah. What did you say was the issue with using a button? Like what might be the issue with using a button?
If we use hard-coded buttons, just always keep in mind, what if the client or whoever wants more APIs in the app?
Okay. So
because with the picker view, it's an array, correct?
Yeah.
So it's more dynamic?
Yeah.
But if you start hard-coding buttons in, that's static, it doesn't become dynamic. Like what if we say we want more APIs in there?
Okay. Yeah. No,
Cool, just keep that in mind. Very good. Okay, so go ahead and give us a rundown, stand-up format. What went well, what didn't go well, what you're gonna do today?
Okay, so what went well was that I was able to get past a blocker that I had. I guess I deleted a file or I edited a file or something, and for a while it just kept saying build input file not found. And it was a really quick fix, but it took me a long time to figure it out because like I was looking it up. Right now I'm just working with the data that I have. I don't have the login view controller, and I think that today might be a bit more productive because in general I'm just not great at working at home, and I think that's my major blocker right now.
Is it
But
because of like a
yeah.
quiet space or?
Well, it's quieter at night. Like I was able to get more done at night. Like I was able to focus better at night, but then I fell asleep. So
Okay. So is it something like take a nap during the day and then get up and work at night?
possibly, but that might not work every day because I do work during the week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to figure out like different time blocks and different spaces to work in the house or
Okay.
out
So
of
we
the
have to help you figure out work schedule, right, or something.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Any blockers minus working from home? I mean, finding quiet space.
Not yet. No. The Rick's
Museum.
Museum API client was a little. I mean, API was a little weird to navigate at first, but after I got through that, not really.
All right. Perfect. And how's the Ticketmaster API and model?
I'm just working with the Rick for now because I don't want to overwhelm myself, and then
Got
I'll
it.
come
Okay.
back to that.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So everybody heard that. So Chelsea is attacking it one at a time. She's not overwhelming herself with both APIs at once. So if that works for people, that's great. Thank you, Chelsea.
Hmm?
All right, Mr. Christian, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
All right.
Very good. So we're doing standard format. Tell us what went well, what didn't go well, what you're working on today. Any blockers?
Well, I started getting really involved on this yesterday afternoon. So I've been implementing Firebase, and for whatever reason, I was getting a Sigabert error. So I was trying to backtrack. I'm reading the error, and it's because I renamed the Google Service Info plist because I already have other ones from previous projects. And I was trying to delete it, rename it, but I for whatever reason, I was just getting it wrong, and it held me back. Also, like my mom's been sick, so it's kind of been really distracting and hard to sit down and focus because she just needs some help, and it's kind of hard to work from home because of that. But
Okay. Were you able to fix the error, or you need one of us to have a one-on-one with you about that error?
probably the one-on-one. I like because I followed along the steps. I've done this twice before with the Instagram app and the Firebase demo, so I'm really trying to figure it out, but I haven't seen this error before.
Okay, so we'll jump on a call after this to talk with you.
For sure.
Cool. Thanks, bud.
You got it.
All right, Mr. David.
No real blockers at the moment. Yesterday I did the login screen, logout screen, the models, and I did the logic from login to the picker view.
Okay.
But right now I'm just trying to figure out how to work out the logic for showing the data once the user clicks on the picker item.
Okay.
And then favoriting after that.
Okay. So to reiterate, when the user selects a picker view item, that particular item goes to the user's collection in the database.
Goes to the user's collection and database. Okay.
So what I'm talking about is, can everybody see my screen? Okay, yes. So what I'm talking about is when if I go to my database section of my console, so when the user, every time I create a new user, right, everybody, whether it be a new user or existing user, anytime that user manipulates the API experience, that field changes. So in the picker view area, when I select either Ticketmaster or Rick's Museum, right, David?
Yes.
So when I select one of those two APIs, this gets populated. So you need to update the database user experience here. in
Okay.
Firebase. And then after that, you send them to the tab bar controller.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Wait, no.
Alex,
Yes, go ahead.
can I ask a question or should I leave it till the end?
No, that's a class-wide question. Let's make sure we're all on board here.
So the way you have a collection set up is that you have users here and then favorite events, favorite art, objects. But in this case, wouldn't every single user's favorites would be saved to the same? Like shouldn't?
Yep.
So in this case, we should have it like a sub collection of their favorites within the user.
If you
collection.
want to model it that way, you can. But the way I model it here, as you said, there's different users here, different IDs. So I'll filter by user. So you could have multiple users with the same collection. The same way we have the items collection. Remember items collection?
Yes, but here there's no property within the favorite event that would allow us to filter by the user because that ID is specific to the event. Am I understanding this correctly?
You could put a user ID in here and filter by that user ID.
Okay.
Does that make
So we
sense?
have those two options, either a sub collection
Yep,
or
exactly. You could do a sub collection on users here, like have favorites, whatever, or you could have all users in the favorites, like we did with items. Let me go back to items.
What would be the best way in terms of like
One second. If I go back to items here, items, and there's different user IDs on items, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to filter it by user ID or whatever it is.
Right.
Right? Because there's a seller ID here. And I could filter by seller ID. So you could have a favorite
it's being
ID.
filtered by item ID.
What's that?
It's being filtered by item ID.
If you want to get a particular user's items, you have to find by seller ID. Tiffany?
I heard you, Alex. I'm still thinking about this API. I'm sorry.
If you have to filter, say I'm looking for a particular user's items, correct? In our Firebase demo project, we filtered by the seller ID.
Right.
To get that particular seller's items that they sold. So I'd use that same model, a mini, to model my app. So have like a favorites, you could have one favorites collection and you just filter by that. Or if you're comfortable with the sub collections, you could do that as well.
In terms of the best practice, what would be the best way to do it?
Best practice, the faster way would get the user's sub collection.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay.
All right. Yes.
So the best thing to do is to have each user have their own favorites.
Yes. That way, I'm on a user, I could just grab their favorites in like the same way we have comments here. Everybody sees comments. The comments is a sub collection, correct? So I would have a sub collection called favorite art objects or whatever it is. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Okay. Amini, you good?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So you could either go sub collection with favorites, or you could have one top level favorites collection or favorite art objects collection.
Yeah, that's what was throwing me off because I just didn't see I didn't see a user ID on the way you had it set up. So
Yeah,
a little confused.
Yeah, it's just missing a user ID there. Again, that was just like a prototype to show you guys what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, so we are 1 second. So David, you were good, right? We were on you talking about the Picaview stuff.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question about transitioning from the Picaview to the tab controller?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. So you're working on that today, correct?
Yes.
All right. So no blockers. You're good. You know what you're working on today. All right, cool. Thank you, sir. Eddie. Eddie? Mr. Edward O'Neill. Unmute yourself, sir, please.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you now. Standard
Um,
format, what went well, what didn't go well, blockers, what you're working on today.
Yesterday it started well. In the weekend, the stuff I did was actually I didn't follow the instruction, so I have to like reconstruct stuff. But I fixed that up, and it went well in the beginning. But at the end, I started getting distracted by my family a little bit, so it did start slowing down like my motivation, like my efficiency. But other than that, it was fine. Like worked on I finished the login, everything, and I started working on the table view
Okay.
for the Ticketmaster.
Are you using one table view? I'm assuming you're using one table view, correct? For both
Yeah,
Ticketmaster
I'm
and
using one table view. Yeah.
all right, all right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Any other blockers minus family stuff?
No, not really.
Okay. Is it like you need quiet space or you guys just needed to do things together?
No, I just had to do something together.
Okay, okay. Just try to do a schedule, like block out certain times for your work and certain times for your family stuff to keep both
Okay.
balanced.
Okay.
Because once you're home, the family expects us to also do stuff at home, not just like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah, cool. Thanks, bud. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Moving along here. Next, we have Mr. Eric.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good, good.
Mhm.
So what went well yesterday? What you working on today? Any blockers?
Um, yesterday, I don't do well coding during the day. So
You
really
don't
this
what? I'm
morning,
sorry.
I said I don't do well coding during the day.
Okay.
So
So you're
really
nocturnal.
this morning,
You're
yeah,
nocturnal?
like
All right.
I
All right.
last night I think I coded from like 10 to like 6 this morning maybe.
Oh wow.
Depending on how I felt.
Oh
But
man.
I'm up to I'm I'm about to I'm in the process of favoriting items.
Oh wow. You're gonna be
I'm
done
a,
today. Okay.
maybe, but I haven't done the detail view yet.
Uh-huh,
But I
uh-huh.
just want to
That's the
I want to
API.
get past the data pick. Say that again.
We'll come back to it, Tiff. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I want to finish the database objects first, so I could focus on like the user experience.
Okay.
Like once I feel as though once I finish the favorite part, I should be good to go from there.
Okay. So for you, do you foresee any blockers in the favorite end?
Um, Not at the moment. I haven't actually gone into it. I just created the database and then I kind of passed out.
Okay.
So,
Are you architecturing like stuff on paper as you go, or you just like building the app as you go?
I don't know if y'all can see behind me. I got a chalkboard.
Oh man, you guys saw that?
Oh,
Eric
you
got like
picked
a.
up. I love it.
Eric, where in the world did you get a chalkboard?
It's painted.
He painted it. You heard that? He got chalkboard paint and he painted it.
That's dope.
You genius.
Take a shot and drop it in Slack for us, man. That's awesome.
What's up?
That
I
is
did.
awesome. Give it up for Eric here.
Enjoy working at
Clapping
home.
isn't the same.
Awesome job, dude. Major kudos. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Any blockers? Any other blockers? Family stuff? COVID stuff?
No, I'm in the basement by myself.
Nice. That means you're gonna get a lot of work done. Very nice. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Greg.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yesterday, it actually went pretty well. I got the login done. I laid out the basics of the UI within Storyboard, a little bit programmatic. Brought in my services. Really, it was just laying the groundwork for everything. So today begins the fun work. I get to create the model, get the API client set up, and all that stuff.
It's not fun.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any blockers?
No, nothing critical.
Okay. And you also doing architecture on your iPad, right? Before you go into code?
Yeah, I've also got the whiteboard. So I kind of spent the weekend just kind of sketching out what I wanted to do, considering there were so many parts. That made laying things out programmatically a lot quicker. Same thing with the board. I knew exactly what I wanted. Find some efficiencies within the design, and hopefully it pays off.
Very nice, very nice. Cool, man. Thank you so much. Everything good with family?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we found out that someone at my wife's office is sick with the coronavirus, so we're a little worried about his health and safety.
Okay. Oh man.
We found out this Sunday about that, and they kind of lied about it. So that wasn't fun to find out. But other than that, we're safe. Our family's good.
So are you guys
Healthy.
gonna were you guys in contact with them or?
Yeah, there was direct contact. So my wife is at home in quarantine,
Okay.
just like everybody else at her office. Nobody's really happy.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Like some people are just like finding it, I guess, at the same time, like it's hard to, I guess, we gotta be transparent first of all, but some other people are just like not.
Yeah, they thought they were doing us a favor by, or rather my wife a favor by keeping them in the dark. We don't agree.
Yeah, that's not something you keep in the
Wait,
dark.
what? They are sick.
Yeah. That's not good.
I was doing you a favor by lying to you about your health.
They literally said, "Oh, it's just a flu. Nothing to worry about."
Oof. That's like the guy on the JetBlue plane.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, man.
No, not a big deal.
Anything? Well, we here as a family. We all here virtually.
Thank you.
All right.
Stay clean, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
All right. Next, let's go down. Mr. Howard, sir. Where's your video? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Stand up. What went well yesterday? What you're working on? Any blockers?
No, I just did the tab bar controller, the API clients models, and tested 3 of them, and they work. So now I don't have to do the testing anymore, right?
Nah. Well, the thing about testing, like, it shouldn't be a chore. It should be something we love, right? Somebody doing quotations somewhere. But yeah, that's good. That's good. So, any blockers?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Nothing.
Okay. And cool. So you foresee you finish in midweek, Thursday, or?
I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Howard, always keeping it short there. How's family?
Okay, good.
Good. You have enough everything you need?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's just funny seeing people go crazy outside.
Yeah, man. I went to the bagel store today, and there's no more seating there. Like that's like my local bagel store, and it felt very weird and like surreal. But like San Francisco, like right now, you can't go outside your building unless like you have to. So
yeah,
it's gonna get a little weirder. But we could all see each other here virtually with videos as well. So we're here for each other. Thank you, sir. All right, cool. Mr. Jahid.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, I guess I'll turn the video on.
If you want to. Mr. Howard chose not to. How you doing?
I don't know if it's on or not.
Yeah,
okay.
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. I set up like the Firebase stuff, the authorization and database. I made models for both the Ticketmaster and the museum.
Okay.
I'm basically done with the login screen, and I'm trying to like wireframe it out right now.
What you using for wireframe, and using a particular software, or you just drawing it out?
I'm just drawing it. It's like doodles, basically.
Can we see one of your wireframes?
Huh?
Can we see one of your wireframes? Do you have one of them? No worries. You don't have to show it.
All right. Like, I'm like, let me see. Yeah, I don't really foresee too many I guess blockers, not far as coding wise.
Okay.
Right now. But yeah. Other than, well, I don't have power currently, and so I might have to.
How much power you have left on your laptop?
74. But
so what you gonna do for backup?
There are plenty like coffee shops where I live and stuff like that. I might just either do that or go to my mom's house.
Yes, Mom. Yep. Shops are closed.
I'm sorry. What was that?
if you need like some kind of access to Wi-Fi, let us know, and we'll connect with Daphne and like the ops team and like help you get set up with like a tablet or something.
But he is powered.
Worth.
Powered.
Yeah, I'm at 74%. I don't think that this power thing in my apartment is gonna be like an all day thing.
Okay. You might have to go to Pursuit because they're closing down coffee shops and restaurants.
No, worst case scenario, I could just go to my mom's. That's
okay.
Fine.
Okay. If you need anything from us, let us know.
Jahid, you can come, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm not far.
All right. Cool, dude. So minus like the power, everything else is okay?
Not really, but it's nothing that Pursuit could help with, I guess. So.
Always reach out to us. You never know.
Well.
I mean, offline.
Oh, okay, because I'm like.
Yeah. Offline, we'll talk about it. You could reach out to one of us offline, okay? Or we'll reach out to you rather, or after this.
Just full disclosure though, my stepfather has brain cancer.
Oh man. Sorry about that.
Sorry to hear, dude.
If you need anything, let me know. Meaning like extension or whatever. All right. Jahid will reach out to you. Everybody's with you, buddy. All right.
Yeah, just
all right. Okay. Okay. Mr. Juan. Mr. Juan. Hello, sir. In the plaid shirt over there.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
So I didn't get much done yesterday. I pretty much finished setting up the project, and I spent most of it reviewing the Firestore videos for the database stuff. Then I had to go run some errands, do some shopping, and I plan to get most of my work or start being a bit more consistent today as far as getting as much done, at least the login by 6 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, just focus on one major item. I'll just focus on doing login and make that pull request. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself because you had stuff yesterday. And you also had issues with Zoom yesterday, correct?
Yeah, but I got it all resolved, so shouldn't be happening anymore.
All right, cool. Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Kelby?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, so yesterday I did the login screen, able to choose a picker view to get to the tab bar controller. And yeah, I guess my only blocker's really been that controlling the state of the app. So I don't know if we're supposed to just use, like I have an enum for it and everything, but I'm ended up just using the database services to basically use a listener within the tab bar controller to see what the experience is.
Okay.
So it's working, but not how I'd want it to, I guess.
Got it. So that question is like a class-wide architectural question that you guys could use if you choose to. So Kelby's question was, how do I handle state throughout my app, right? So we all familiar with the singleton pattern, right? Singletons, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Are we all familiar with the singleton pattern?
Yep.
Okay, so we could use like a user session singleton. And the minute my app starts up, have a user session singleton, because the singleton, I could use it anywhere throughout the app, right? So I'd have like a user session that shared singleton, for example, and have that shared singleton have the state of the app, whatever experience that user is in, whether it be the museum or the Ticketmaster. Does that make sense? So anywhere in your view controllers, you could always say, what is user session that shared that experiences? Does that make sense, Kelby?
Yeah, it does, but wouldn't that be determined by what user? Like if I change users?
Well, the minute you change user, you have to update that session.
Select what the picker.
Like whatever function to use in that session there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So just use a singleton for that. Cool.
Alrighty.
All right. Cool.
Yep. And also,
everybody
my,
else, did we get that?
Yeah.
Anybody else wants me to go over it?
Yeah.
Feel free to
Yeah.
jump in.
Say that one more time.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Can you say that again?
Okay, so Kevin's question was, how do I know in any view controller what is the API experience of that user, right? And I suggested that we could use a singleton, right? Have a class called user session, which is a singleton. And the minute my app starts up, or anytime the user changes the API experience, the user session always knows about what that user experience is. So anywhere throughout my app, I could say user session that shared API experience, for example. What is that equal to? Does that make sense to everybody? Very similar to our network helper shared instance or any other shared instance we've used since back in unit 3. So I'll just use a singleton there.
So it's supposed to save the user experience and then share that throughout the whole app?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess my question is then, like, I was kind of looking at your model for users. Why do you have, like, why is experience even part of the database if?
Because what if I go on an iPad? What if I go on an iPhone? I should always have that experience that I used earlier.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that experience itself is throughout the app. Like anytime the user is in the app, they're logged in, it grabs their database experience.
Cool.
All right, very good. Cool. So your blocker was take control. We went over that. You good with picker view stuff, flow, layout? Your models are good?
Yeah, my models are good. I did have an issue with like the JSON from the ticket master. Like when I tried doing the unit test worked for the Rijksmuseum, but like I got the model working for the ticket master, but I didn't use like a full like object.
The full object JSON?
Yeah, like I just use up to like past images, and I think
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're
closed
able to
off the
test
square
some part.
brackets.
Yeah, as long as you're able to test some part of it, that's good.
Okay.
Because the API does change. Like if you query a different object, you'll get a different result, right? Because at that point, some of them will be optionals.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
So I think I'm good.
How's family and everything?
Family's all right. I mean,
I see you got kicked out of the hotel.
Usual.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Going down. Lilia. Hello, Lilia.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm actually listening to the Governor Cuomo right now. He's making a statement. Is it okay if I come back to you guys in a
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Thank you. Luba.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? So stand up, right? So what went well yesterday? What didn't go well? Blockers. What you doing today?
Yeah. So I did the login screen. I did all the APIs and tests, and I set up the tab bar controller, and I'm stuck on like saving API experience to database.
Okay. The earlier question about the saving part, did that help you? Somebody asked earlier, I think it was, somebody asked earlier about when I select my picker view, how do I save that? And we went over it. Did that help you?
I don't think so.
So
I don't think it helped.
So to reiterate to the entire class, let's pay attention here. Can everybody see my simulator? Can everybody see my simulator?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so if I sign out here, so you create a new account or whatever, say I have an existing account. Okay, create a new account. I create a new account. Suit at pursuit.com. Right here, I'm creating a new account. Everybody?
To see you.
Everybody.
Yep.
Okay, so let
Yeah.
me get my database going.
And
Database users, and I have my phone up here. Right now, how many users do we have?
3.
3 users, correct? Luba?
Yes.
Okay, we have 3 users. So I'm about to go create a new user, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I click next here. If I
You're
refresh,
in your Firebase
if I
demo.
refresh here,
You're on Firebase demo, Alex.
I'm in
The
Firebase
top
demo.
left.
Thank you for telling me that here. API, I guess we should do it again. Users. Let me create a new user again. So just submit that. Go here, sign out, and create a new user again. So I'll create a new user called Luba. Right now, how many users we have?
4.
4 users, correct, Luba?
4.
Yeah.
All right. So I click next here. It created a new user. Do we see that?
Yeah.
So right now we have 5 users. If I look at that user, Luba, does she have an API experience?
no.
No, she does not. So now I'm about to create an API experience for Luba by selecting one of those options.
Mm-hmm.
You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I select, say, Rick's Museum, right? I click the submit button, what we expect to happen?
That experience is going to pop up.
Luba, what's that? I'm sorry?
You're adding the experience.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and do that. So I click submit, and now I have an API experience here. Rick's Museum. Do we all see that?
Yes.
All right. So that's what you're looking for. Not when you get to the tab. The minute you get to the tab controller, that's too late to create that API experience.
But that's where I did my. You said yesterday.
Well,
that
if I get to the tab bar, that API experience should have been created already. Like it gets created, then it transitions.
Wait, Alex, you said yesterday that instead of doing it as a bonus, set up the.
That was talking about the settings. I could still change my API experience in the settings as well. There's 2 places I could do it.
Then I completely don't understand how this works. Like, is it like second login screen, or is it like different storyboard, or what is this?
So there's 2 places I could change the API experience. Everybody, right? I could change it in the settings, which is bonus, I said yesterday, or we could change it as we log into the app.
But is this like another storyboard?
We have 2. Well, my app is using 2 storyboards. I have a login view storyboard, and I have a tab bar controller storyboard, for example.
And where does the picker view go?
The picker view?
Yeah.
The picker view is in the login view controller storyboard, or the login view storyboard, sorry.
Do you have 2 view controllers there?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I understood that we can just have bar controller.
We have a tab bar
Okay.
control.
Then, and then how do you, I mean, I tried many ways, but I couldn't, like I did update database user info function, but it gives me an error, I think.
Well, those are errors that either you could reach out to one of us about it. If it's an app-specific error, we could help direct you into how to resolve that error. But what my job is to give us an idea of how to model the application, right? What I did yesterday and today is giving us an idea of how we could go ahead and model that application. Does that make sense to everybody? Right?
Yeah.
As far as like, this is not like a lecture exercise to say like, this is step 1, step 2, step 3. It's an assessment to see how, given a problem, how can we solve it? So we given hints along the way. One of the hints is when I get to my picker view, what do I do there? And we just walk through it, right? Like if I get to my picker view, I select one of the options. What am I doing now? Well, before I segue to the tab bar controller, I want to update the user experience property, right? As I update the user experience property, whatever function I use there, it gives me either an error or everything went well. If everything went well, that means it was created on Firebase. Then I could transition over to the tab controller. Luba?
Yeah.
Does that help you?
No.
That's fair. It doesn't help you. Any reason? Like, can you take us down to what part doesn't help you? Because after that, it's like doing the app together, which is not fair to
Yeah, I'm
us.
not asking you to do up to the.
What's that?
It's okay. I'll maybe figure it out.
Is anybody else in that same zone there with Luba? Because again, it's an assessment to assess what we could do given a problem. And we have all the tools required for it. Amini?
Yeah, I'm not having that issue because the way I set it up was, and I'm hoping that this is okay. The way I set it up is when they create an account, they're selecting an experience before creating the account.
That's fine as well.
Right. So maybe that could be something that you do.
I didn't hear what Amini said.
So what I did was when they create an account, they are selecting from an experience, whether it's the museum or the Ticketmaster. So there's no, it doesn't create the user, then adds a experience to them. So maybe that's something that Luba can do.
Luba, what Amini says that she creates everything at once, correct, Amini? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
So she creates the user along with the API experience. She doesn't create the user first, like we do here, and then update the API experience. She creates the user and the API experience together. How do you update? Do you have a separate function to update the user experience there, Amini?
I haven't gotten to that state. I'm assuming that once I'm in the settings, then I'll have a function to update the user experience there.
Got it. So those are two approaches there. One approach is updating that entire user right away, but Amini still needs to go ahead and write a separate function to update the API experience separately. Does everybody get that?
I did it by making two buttons, and when I select a button, it just saves like the title of the API, like Rick's Museum or Ticketmaster.
Okay, so everybody is doing different approaches here, which is good, which is what we're looking for. It's not to say this is the way to do it. It gives us a benchmark or some sort of template to approach the problem. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody here, does that make sense? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Right? Because really and truly it's an assessment and we have all the tools required for it. One approach was what Amini did, where she created everything, but she needs to figure out how to update a single field. Cassandra took a different approach. She has buttons doing the update there. So everybody has their own sense of like what they want to architecture and how they want to architecture the app. So Luba?
Yeah.
What I want you to do is go to some sort of like a whiteboard or some paper and figure out what approach you want to take. Right now you have 3 approaches you've heard of and you've seen. So you could use one of those approaches there to basically update your user model with the API experience. Luba?
So it can be tab bar controller, that's for sure.
The tab bar controller is what you get after you created the user, right? So after the user logs in, we always go to a tab controller in our case.
Okay.
Luba?
Thank you.
Luba, one question. Does that help you? So just figure out what architecture you want from picker view to tab bar controller. What you doing?
I don't know yet.
Okay, so I would suggest architecture and like write it out on a whiteboard or something, and reach out to one of us on the instruction team
Because
to.
I was trying to do it through tab bar controller, like you suggested yesterday. It's
Uh-huh.
a different logic. Maybe that's why I couldn't do it. So maybe it's gonna be a part of login screen. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
Okay, we'll take it offline and we'll help you there if you need any extra help as far as like brainstorming what you want to approach with. Cool.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So moving on, we have Maytree.
Yeah. Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are
Doing good?
you?
Okay. Stand up. What went well yesterday? What blockers you have? What you working on today?
Sure. So yesterday I got the login screen done and so users are able to log in and everything. I also did some programmatic UI in the tab bar controller.
Okay. Oh, you did that
And
programmatically?
no, but like I did some of the view controllers programmatically.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. And I worked on the model a little bit, but I haven't finished it yet because I did have a little bit of trouble going through the museum model.
Yeah. It's nested, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, I had to keep going back and forth between that.
Okay.
And yeah, I plan on finishing all the models today and the API clients and get some testing done.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
How's family?
Yeah, everyone's good.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
Margia?
what?
Well, I'm saying thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Margiette? Margiette. I see you. No audio. Margiette, can you hear us? Unmute yourself. Margiette. Okay. Margiette is not here. Matt.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. Margiette, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect, cool. So we're doing stand-up format. What went well yesterday? What didn't go well? What you're working on today?
Yeah, I was listening. Well, I started the login. I was just having a little issue with the API. And that's about it.
Okay, what are you working on today?
I guess I'm just going along. I haven't really planned what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so you completed the login or you still working on it?
I completed it.
Okay, so right now you could segue to a tab controller?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you able to update?
I'm-
Are you able to update your API experience?
No. I'm
Okay.
having a issue with my API.
Okay, so, okay, cool. Thank you. Mr. Matt.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, hanging in there.
Hanging in there, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yesterday, what went well? What didn't go well? Blockers. What you working on today?
Oh yeah, everything went pretty smoothly yesterday. I did the login controller, no issues there. Moved on to constraining the tab view controller and all of the view controllers in it. Started on the API client, and that's kind of, yeah, I think that's kind of, I mostly like laid out everything like visually, and then did the functionality for the login screen and authentication and set up the Firebase. And today the plan is to do like testing, and more on the problem. I would like to finish the API client and stuff regarding all of them today.
Okay.
And that's
Okay,
my goal
awesome.
for today.
Awesome. How's family and everything? Good?
Yeah, no, nobody. My mom's a nurse, so she's a little worried because she has to be at the hospital every day because they're like on the front line. But other than that, everyone in my family is healthy. Everyone's like following the quarantine. I bought a bunch of food on Friday to prep for this, but I don't really buy food for myself in excess, so I'm running out of stuff already. And then I
Okay.
have like an abundance of Cheerios,
Oh.
so I'm not really sure.
Cheerios could you could work on Cheerios.
Yeah. But that's pretty much oh yeah, I had some questions if that's okay.
Yeah, you could pop it out and let's see what's going on there.
Okay, they should be quick. But one, I wanted to ask for the login controller. I was thinking about, rather than there's sort of like the login controller, and then it's kind of implied in the outline that you should also have a create account controller. I was thinking about combining the two of them and then having. Okay, that's all I was going to ask.
So Matt's question was, can I combine the two, the create new and existing controller? Sure, we could combine those together. Everybody got that? Yeah. All right. Cool. Other question you have?
Yeah. So that was my plan for that. And then second was I had another question. Second was for the museum, for the events API with Ticketmaster, we're doing it by location. I think you might have touched on this yesterday, and I could not be totally remembering. But is there any specifics in terms of the type of location searching you want us to do? Does it have to be by any term? Does it have to be by zip code, or would you prefer it be like by state? Are there any specifics on that?
Let's see. So it's by city, as far as like a name of a city, right?
Okay.
And the API itself knows if the city is valid. Like if I put in Miami or South Beach, whatever there. But if it doesn't recognize the city, it will throw an error.
Okay.
And then the zip code is a 5-digit zip code. And as we
So
saw
you want
yesterday,
it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, so you want us to use both, or you want us to use one, or
both. So currently, can you see my simulator?
Yes.
So currently, searching Ticketmaster by zip code here, right?
Yes.
And if I press enter, I get results, correct?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I change my query to our favorite place or my favorite place, I put Miami here. This is searching now by city.
Okay.
So the API, you need to write your API client such that it could recognize if it's a number
Okay,
or if it's
got
a
it.
string.
Okay, yeah, those were my two questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Did everybody get that? Because this is class-wide questions there. Again, our Ticketmaster API uses either postal code or city. Yes?
Got it.
So you're saying, Alex, that if whatever is entered is a digit, it should search by the postal code?
Exactly. So if it's a digit, like in our example here in Postman, it searches by postal code. If it's not a digit, then it's going to go ahead and do a city search. Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear some crickets there. How are we doing?
What's up?
Is that okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that totally answers both of my questions. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you, buddy. So your second question is about city versus postal code stuff. Awesome. Next up, we have Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hi.
How are you?
Hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I just I think I have allergies. I'm giving myself a day to see if it is allergies or I am coming up with something.
Okay. Anything you need from us, let us know. As far as like, since you're not feeling well, we may have to give you an extension.
Okay.
Were you able to work on it yesterday at all?
To be honest, I'm going to be really honest with you. I didn't because trying to take care of my mom. She's under the high risk factors So
Okay.
I was basically going food shopping for her, calling up doctors and making sure she has her medicine. It was just a lot of stuff that I was doing yesterday. But I did make a repo and I did make out a plan on my huge whiteboard. And that's as far as I got. But yesterday I was just so tired. I just ended up falling asleep and waking up a few minutes before this conversation.
Okay.
I mean, not this conversation we're having. I mean, this phone video call.
Yep. Always remember health first, family first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're here for you, regardless.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that's as far as I got. So as opposed to, I'm just listening to what other people have so I can take it in. And when I start doing the project, I can work on from that.
Awesome. So far, it's like the big thing is architecture, right? Like, how do we update our user model? How do we transition, right? Those are the things that's been asked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Thank you, Mel.
No problem. Thank
Stay
you.
safe, okay?
You too.
All right. Mr. Oscar.
Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. All right. So stand up. What went well yesterday? Didn't go well. Blockers. What we're working on today?
Yesterday I was able to log in and create a user in Firebase.
Okay.
Over the weekend I created a new project to handle the networking part of the project, I guess. So I got the data for.
Oh, you mean like you created a separate project just to test the API?
Yeah, just to get the data and basically, yeah.
Okay. And any reason why? Like you just wanted to test it out separately, or?
Yeah, I kind of split the work, like some of the fellows did too.
Okay, and then you'll integrate them together?
Yeah.
Okay. Today, what you working on?
I just gotta update the user experience because I don't have a function for that yet, but based on like what you guys were saying, like I think it should be pretty easy for that.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks, bud. How's family? Good?
Yeah, we're all right.
All right. Enough food there for when I come over?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you, sir. Cool. Thank you. Madame Shania. She's not here. Shania's not here, right? No.
Yeah, I think she had to do
Okay.
something and she's gonna come back.
All right, cool. Tanya?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Cool. Project based, how's the project?
I'm having a little difficulty with I was doing the login screen. I was having difficulty as far as because I put in the function so that it would recognize, Firebase, and it's not connecting with my app. I was working for, I'm not sure why that's not working. I followed the video, like I went and I looked at the video.
Okay, so it sounds like one of us, you need to reach out to one. Well, we'll reach out to you now. Have a one-on-one about like Firebase connectivity. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so one of us will reach out to you and see what's going on there with Firebase. Because we know that, yeah. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And then other than that, I just started to look at the API and try to figure that part out since I wasn't getting that working.
Okay, cool. So today you continue working on the API part of it?
Yeah.
All right, and we'll reach out to you to make sure that you're onboarded there with Firebase stuff.
Okay.
All right, cool. Awesome, thank you. Madame Tiffany, we're back here. Tiffany.
Hello. I'm here.
Okay, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Talk about the project first, and we'll come back and talk about the issue you have.
I
So we'll
didn't
end up
do
with the blockers you
anything
have.
because I was stuck and I refused to move from here until I figured it out.
Okay, so talk to us about like where you are now in the app.
Nowhere. That's what I'm saying. That's my frustration, Alex.
You're nowhere. So login, nothing is working.
No, I did not move from testing. I did not move from here because it's telling me that I don't have things that I I don't like this because I need you to see it. You can't understand from me just saying it.
No, that's fine. We'll have a one-on-one with you and talk about it. Does that help you?
I hope so.
Okay, so we'll have a one-on-one after this such that it's like an individual base. So again, to the class, if we have individual problems, blockers, we'll hop on a call individually. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right, cool. So Tiff, that applies to you. So you have a question, we'll hop on the call with you. Cool?
Yeah.
Tiffany?
Yes, Alex, I heard you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Searing, sir. Mr. Siring. Mr. Siring, you're on mute.
Oh, hi.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
How's the project?
No, it's going good.
Going good. Where are you?
I'm at populating the table view.
Oh, populating the table view, the feed, the first feed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Walk us through it, like what you did yesterday, what you're doing today. Any blockers?
Oh, I did what Oscar did, worked on a separate project first because I didn't want to mess up my branches.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So you're populating the table view and you did custom cells or using nibs? I mean, they're both custom cells, but are you doing programmatic cells or custom nibs or?
No, I'm just doing the detail view controller programmatically, like you said.
Okay. Well suggested, right?
No, I took it.
Okay. All right, nice. Any blockers?
Like on my separate project, I hard coded the API, so I haven't wrote the logic to like choose between APIs. So
Okay. Try to do that earlier than later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you try to integrate later, it might give you some difficulties there. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, buddy. Yulia.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, I had a list of things I plan to work on. It's like model, get API, and set up layout, like table views and so on. I actually started on testing my model for Ticketmaster. It took me a while to figure that out. So by midnight, I was able to do that. So the rest of my day for today, I do plan to do the same unit tests for models for museum, and hopefully it will work fine.
Okay. How's are you working on the login flow already, or?
Yeah, I created already login. I need to change it because like so far, like I listened what you're telling about us, how it should work, and like I need to change it a little bit. But yeah, so far I have login.
Okay. So the only blocker was testing the models, correct?
Yeah, actually it took me a while.
Cool.
Alex.
Thank you, Yulia.
Alex, really quickly. So I figured it out. Just
Madame
a heads
Tiffany,
up, on the Ticketmaster, under the venues, the images are not lit. So don't even bother put that in your John.
Wait. What am I talking about? Ticketmaster, you said?
And Ticketmaster, yeah, the images for the venues, like inside of
this guy,
there's like an embedded for events where they give you like attractions and venues if you want to add that.
No, we're not doing attractions. Just do the images. You see my images array?
Above that, but I was trying to like take it a step further, but it's a dub. Okay.
No. Just take the images array here and take one of those images.
The very first images array, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one works fine. It was the other ones that were just
No,
not
we're not getting fancy with the attractions there.
All right, so yeah, I'm good now.
All right. Madame, you need to balance your frustration there.
I'm working on it, Alex. I am a work in progress, okay?
Okay. I'm working on the medicine as well.
Please, I'd like some.
Thank you. I think we had some people we missed. Mr. Cameron. No Cameron, no Ben Benito? No? Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else before we stop this particular module that we're going through here today? Anything else, please reach out. I mean, verbally, just put your mic on and talk about it.
Alex?
Yeah.
How can you run down how the pull request is gonna be today?
Okay, so the pull request is going to be, everybody's working on their QA branch, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see if I could actually just do something real quick here. Let me create a new project. So Brendan's question was about pull request there. So let me try to create a new project and we'll go through it together. Does that help everybody? Yes? Okay, cool. So I'll just create a project. I'll create a project, test project. So this is a test project I'm creating. I'm going to push it to GitHub.
When we push our projects, we don't have to push the pods, right? We just push the project.
You definitely want to commit the pod file.
Yeah, you'll commit it, but when you're doing your original, like when you're doing that, how you like it gives you two. It gives you the project and it gives you like the pod.
I would go to terminal and push all the pods. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tiffany?
Yes.
I would go to terminal and push all the pods. Tiff?
Okay. But that's after you do like a git status, whatever.
Yeah, let's go through it together. So assuming like I created a new project here and I'm about to go push to GitHub. Right now I don't have any pods yet, that's fine. I'm going to create it remotely. It's going to be test project. It's a public repo. I click create. Everybody with me so far?
Ours is private, but yeah.
Yeah, yours is private, but that's the only difference. Okay, so this is public. If I go over to my GitHub, I go to my repositories, I have a test project. Do we all see my test project?
Mm-hmm.
I click on test project. Currently, I have only one branch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Let's get a terminal open. Terminal.
Check out .b.
So right now I'm in terminal. I want to go to desktop in terminal. I want to navigate over to the project, which is called test project. I navigate to test project, and currently I have only one branch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I want to go check out.
Get you right. -b.
Get check out -b. I call it QA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And now I have a new branch called QA. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Navigate back to question.
No.
That's where we all are currently. So now I go in my view controller and I add some new code here. So added comment. I added comment. I'm on my QA. I do get status. I want to go ahead and commit my my view controller. I say get add everything, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so get add everything, and I want to do get push. At this point, I do not have a remote QA. Do we agree?
Right.
Right, what does that mean? I do not have a remote QA. If I go to if I go to my project, I only have one branch. There's no QA here, correct? Do we all see that?
Yeah.
There's no QA, so I need to go ahead and push QA to remote. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
When we do the git status after we have the pods, I'm sorry, and we and it tells us to we can still do git add all with the workspace and everything, right?
Yes, exactly. So right now I want to go ahead and add QA to remote. So I'll copy that string, paste it in. And now I have a QA as well. I go back here, I refresh, and I have two branches. Do we see QA as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So right now, what we want to do later today is we want to make a pull request, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the question, correct? Like, how do we make a pull request today?
Yeah.
So I want to make a pull request. I go to pull request. I go ahead and select new pull request. And I select QA. Do we see QA here?
Yeah.
Right now, there's nothing different here. It doesn't see anything because I haven't pushed. Did I push? I haven't pushed any new changes. So let me go ahead and create a new file. So let's create a new file, call it login view controller. Login view controller. and go to QA, do get status. I have a login view controller. I want to do get add everything. And I want to do get commit. Commit is added login view controller. I push. I push to QA. I go back to changes here. Right. So if we look at master, master should not have that login view controller. Do we see that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Stop me if there's anything we want to go over. Right now, there's 2 branches. One branch has changes, the other branch does not have. If I look at master, master does not have a login view controller. Do we agree?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, if I toggle my branch here, if I change branch to QA, we see login view controller, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes?
Yeah.
So today
Yeah.
we want to say, okay, I want to go ahead and make a pull request from QA to master so that one of us on the instruction staff could review our code, right? Review our code. If everything is well, go ahead and just merge it. We're not merging our own code. Myself, Antonio, or Aaron is doing the merging. Do we agree here?
Yeah.
Cool. So at this point, we want to make a pull request. I click on pull request here. I go to create new pull request, and I have a master, which is what I want to merge to. And where I want to merge from is compare. I click on QA here. And at that point, there's changes. Everything that's green here is changes. I have a login view controller that I created. Login view controller I created. In the view controller, remember we added this comment, right? So all those are changes that master does not have. Okay, yes?
Okay, yeah.
So at this point, I want to go ahead and create. So what we all do today is that we go back and do all over again. Currently, we all have 2 branches, correct? Yes? So
Yes.
we go to pull request. We go to new pull request. We change compare branch to QA. And at that point, there should be differences because we've been committing to QA. If you've been committing everything to master and you're still a master, there's no changes there, right? So there's no merging happening. Everybody agree? Okay.
Yeah.
But if we've always been pushing to QA, there's going to be differences between QA and master. So at that point, we want to make a new pull request. So I click on create new pull request and pay attention here. I could give it a title. Added login view controller is fine, but I want to also add people. So here I want to add Antonio, for example, who is not currently on my collaborator. This is only going to show collaborators. How many collaborators do we have?
3.
3 collaborators, right? So you want to add each collaborator. It's not going to be Antonio. Antonio slacked out, or will slack out again what the collaborators are, what the usernames are. So here you want to say whatever, username 1. I'll just say username here. So username 1, or, yeah, that's fine. Username 1. Make sure we tag all 3 of us. So username 2 and username 3. And I could say finished with login flow. Can you please review and merge? Right? Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right? So you want to make sure you tag all 3 instruction staff members and tell them, hey, everything is good. Go ahead and test whatever functionality. And as Eric was saying yesterday, even if you're working on something already, it's not ready for testing. So we're not going to test that. But if you specify what you're done with and what you want reviewed, we'll go ahead and just use whatever you want to review and review that particular functionality. Does that make sense? Cool. Yep. And at that point, I'll just click on create pull request. And we all collaborators will see an email. We'll get an email from you saying you requested a review. Okay? Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
Chelsea is really trying to hold that yawn there.
I
Am I boring you, Chelsea?
No, not at all. Not at
all. Did that help us review pull request?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I get a thumbs up from everybody here?
Thumbs up virtually.
Virtually, yes,
Oh.
yes. Tiffany, how you doing? Are you better?
I'm feeling better because I was able to get my API clients to give me a count of what I have, so I know I'm getting paid.
Okay. Cool. So I'm getting thumbs up here from everybody. Cool. We have some follow-ups to do with individuals on one-on-ones to see what's your blockers. And please don't work in isolation. If you have a problem, reach out to staff members and we'll reach out to you. Either we do a Zoom call, we do Slack, whatever we have to do there to get you guys keep working on your code. Does that make sense?
Sure.
All right. Is there any, that was a good one with the PR review, because I was going to do that later, but this is good. It came up now because we're doing it today. That's good. Very good. Any other questions we want to talk about before we end the module here?
Yeah, I didn't know that you can copy and paste storyboards.
Yes, you could do them either via XML or, yes, you could do that.
I'm only saying because I had a really dope storyboard that I was going to use for my off lab, and it's already done. And I'm just like, man, I didn't finish that, so I'm gonna just put it in this.
Okay, it's good. It's good. We discover new things every day. That's why
What time do we need to do the pull request at?
End of day today, whatever the end of your day is.
Cool.
Like Luba end of day was midnight yesterday. Right? I'm not Luba, sorry, Yulia. Yulia's end of day was midnight. Don't go to bed midnight every day, okay? Okay? All right. Very good. Very good. Any other questions?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Just to confirm, right? There's a third API for the details.
Oh yes, there's yeah. That's a good one.
One that has a lot of empty and null.
Yeah,
That the JSON, they're saying that it's not proper JSON, so it's not coding it.
Yeah, there's two APIs for each object, each model. Museum has a details API, and events also has a details API.
Ooh. Does it now?
Yeah. So can we see my postman?
Yeah.
Okay, so event details. So the event has details on it, which I use the event key or the event ID to get more details about it. And more details is like a price range. If we see the README, in the README, there's a price range I could get from an event. Like how much does it cost? And if let me see, does this one have a price range? Price. Do we see price range here?
Yeah.
So that's the event details API endpoint. It gives us details. Like here, it's from $199 to $239.
Is that in a separate API? I feel like I saw that in the regular API.
Yeah, it's
the
ahead.
same API.
What's that?
It's the same API for Ticketmaster.
But that one gives you more details about an event.
But we have only one API. Ticketmaster.
If I go to city here, let me find price here. Price. This one also has price. So you could still get it from the regular API, as Luba says. Right? But there's also an event details API if you want to get more stuff populated. Like if you see the README, it says you could populate more in the UI. So if you want to have more details there, you could look at the event details API.
But where do we get the API from?
It's it should be on the same page. It should be
No, there are two for the museum, but only one for Ticketmaster. I mean,
Ticketmaster, it's on the same page. 1 second, let me go to Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster API here, discovery. So discovery. So this one is for all events, right? Yulia? I mean, Luba, sorry. Luba?
Yeah.
This one is for all events, correct?
Uh-huh.
And then if I do price, for example, there's also an endpoint that takes events and the event ID to get details. It's on the same page.
Okay.
Cool.
The instructions, so I missed.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's details view controller. When you guys get to details controller, you could be more. You could go more. You could go deeper and show more details of the item. Especially if you use a scroll view. If you use a scroll view, you could really put more details in there. But remember, just keep it MVP for now, please. Whatever the README asks for, just do MVP. If we have time, we could go deeper and show more information about that event. Or you could take it a step further. Take a look at the Ticketmaster app and see what they show, and model your app using that. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a Ticketmaster app, and there's also a Rick's Museum app. So if you're looking for inspiration, you could use those two applications. They should be available both for iOS and Android. So we could take a look at that there. All right, cool. Any other questions? It's good. We're getting questions out there. I know it's an hour and a half, but we're getting our questions out. We don't want to internalize the questions. It's already the second day. Before you know it, it's like, ooh, Friday. Should I get Brendan's code? But we're not going to do that because it's all private.
You don't want my code.
I want, maybe. We'll bargain. Do you have bread?
No, I don't have that either.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So bread for code or toilet paper, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are we done? Any other questions? Two more questions. One more question.
We have to check in at 2 o'clock.
Eric asked, do we have to check in at 2 o'clock?
Question.
We're missing some people. We'll check with them individually, but we're not going to check in at 2 o'clock. I want you guys to code like we coded yesterday.
Okay.
If you have questions, reach out to us. We'll reach out to fellows as well. After we got stand up today, we have some fellows we have to reach out to make sure they have everything they need. But just keep working. And Chelsea, if you need to take that nap and get up and do some more work. Right? Because you're nocturnal as who else is nocturnal? Batman. Eric is also nocturnal. So we have Batman and we have, what's your superhero name, Chelsea?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Awesome.
Wow.
So we have Wonder Woman.
Powerful.
We have Batman there. Very nice. I think Matt has a superhero too. Cool. All right. Are we agreeing? Are we agreeing we're done here, or any more questions?
Alex, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So while we're working on the project, should we be looking for feedback from you guys for how we can make our code?
We'll give you feedback about how you can make your code more optimized.
Right. Okay.
The point of coming to Pursuit is to get feedback from instruction staff about how can your code be better. Like for your example, quickly, like your example, I would want you to refactor, because you brought it up already. I would want you to refactor the way you do login. Because right now you have the user, anytime I log in, you update that entire user object.
No, so the way it's not when they log in, it's when they sign up for it. So when they log in there, they already have an experience as a parameter, as a property of their, like, of the user.
And then when I sign in to an existing, what do you do?
Yeah, that's it. They're just signing in with their email and their email and then it go ahead.
And now there's no way to change that sign-in user's API experience, correct?
From the user collection, is that not an option?
No, but now currently, can you do it?
Currently, no, there isn't. But I mean, can't I just update the user?
Yep. And then you'll do that, I guess, in a settings, because at that point you would have to have it somewhere. Okay, very good, cool.
Is that not?
No, that's good. That's good enough there. But you just need a setting screen there.
A setting? Oh, a setting screen, yes.
Yeah, you guys will get feedback from the PRs. Before we merge the PR, very similar to what we just did earlier, we'll see what the changes are. We'll see how can your code be better. We'll give you feedback. Or we might even tell you we cannot merge this because it's not up to par with what we're looking for. Does that make sense?